Hey, today we're going to talk with my DCG brother, Mr. Mark Lewis. We're going to discuss how the whales manipulate the market and how you can hop on those fins and ride that wave, baby. We're also going to look into the charts and see exactly how they do it. Let's go. Hey, what's up, guys? Your guy, Crypto Chuck, right here with the group Crypto Black, with my DCG family right here. This guy, man, you know, when he comes on, I just like to listen because this guy, he has a way of explaining things and presenting things to make you say, you know what? This guy knows what he's talking about. So, this is my DCG brother, no other than Mr. Mark Lewis. Welcome, man. Welcome. Thanks for coming on to the show, man. Welcome.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me here. It's great.
How you doing, man? How's everything?
It's good. You know, right now we're seeing all-time highs in Ethereum. We're seeing Litecoin about to crack 200. We're seeing new all-time highs in Bitcoin. It's a good time to be doing crypto. Not to mention all the DeFi stuff that's happening, which is just going through the roof. So it's super amazing.
Yeah, man. It's going great, man. And the thing with you, man, how you actually explain things, and what maybe gravitate to you is when you start talking about the whales.
Yeah.
And I think people really need to understand what the whales are, who they are, how they operate, and how you can take advantage by just pretty much riding with them.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about that, man.
Well, in my book, Make Your Fortune by Harpooning Whales, I basically discuss what a whale is, what they are, and how they're taking all your money if you're trading. And for the last 100 years, these whales, now I don't know exactly who they are. It's not like, oh, there's Joe Smith, he's a whale. But somebody who could be a single person that's a billionaire, has a lot of money, or an institution, a hedge fund. Institutional traders are whales, right? They come to the market with billions, sometimes tens of billions of dollars, right? So they can move the market. Now, in the place like New York Stock Exchange or something like this, they have to kind of have a coalition to start moving that market, because that market's, dozens of, if not hundreds of trillions of dollars. And we're seeing with like Wall Street Bets, what I was saying in my book, which is that how do you bring down these whales? How do we do that? Well, it's going to require retail traders like us, guys that don't have billions of dollars. I don't have billions of dollars, to come together in our own conglomerate, unify. Because I use the word whale, and I'm not the first person to use that definition, but it works because a whale is this giant thing in the ocean that kind of nobody messes with. It's so big, like you think of an orca, a big killer whale. Granted, that's a dolphin, but it's a big whale and it's a predator, and it goes around and eats giant seals and other other fish, and they just chomp whatever they want, and nobody messes with them. And they travel in schools. They don't just travel on their own. They're talking to each other, going, "Let's drop Bitcoin now."
Yeah.
Let's raise Ethereum now. Okay, let's do it. Let's catch these traders unaware. Well, it's more than just trading, because the same guys, the same whales that own all this money in hedge funds are the same people that have companies that own all the media. Not just the liberal media, not just the conservative media, everything. Financial media, news outlets, newspapers. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. What's the best way to take retail traders' money? Get them all excited about get rich quick in the markets. And whether it's crypto or stocks, options, futures, Forex, doesn't matter. Get them excited. Take their hard-earned money, put it into the markets, and then tell them, oh man, the market's going to crash. You better take your money out. And they pull their money out at the very bottom because they're scared. They're panic selling. And that's the plan. Who are they selling those shares to, or those coins to? They're selling them to very hungry whales that are sitting there waiting for them to get gobbled up to buy their shares of their stocks or their options at the very bottom. And then what happens? They're like, oh, I better not get in. And then meanwhile, the whales are just accumulating, buying all their little coins or buying all their little shares at the bottom where everybody's trying to get out, price going like this. Once they have it all bought up, then they'll sacrifice some cash to falsely drive the market up, and everybody goes, oh, it's time to get back in. And then they get in, FOMO, 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 FOMO. It goes up and up and up and up. They're not selling. Everybody's buying in, buying in. You'll see these big spikes go up like this. And then all of a sudden you'll see a doji or a thing where a price goes like this and stays the same. But there's tons of volume there. Mm-hmm. That's the whales going, time to sell, on the backs of everybody that got in super late. They bought in expensive. I sold them my shares that I bought for real cheap. I'm selling it to them at the very top. We're going to do this for a while, maybe pop up one last time with a lot of volume, and then we're going to crash it on them again. So drive it back down. They do it over and over again. How do we know when they're going to do this? That's the question, right? We know they're there. We know they've been taking our money from us for 100 years. We know they manipulate the media. Last month on my Facebook page, more than once, I posted an article from CNBC, something like the first one I posted, I think maybe it was January, was it said, now look, nobody should be investing in airlines. And I promise you, 10 minutes later, all the airlines shot up.
Yeah.
And then there was another one a week later where they're like, everybody's getting into crypto. The institutions are getting in. It's going to be amazing. 5 minutes later, it dropped $1,000. And that's not retail traders. Retail traders would be getting in. Mm-hmm. But it's the institution going, we're going to take their money. We're going to manipulate them. So rule number one, never listen to the media. In fact, if you want to make money listening to the media, here's the formula. You ready? It's what they say times -1. The opposite.
The opposite.
The second thing is we can always know what the whales are doing. We can always see it. And in my book, I talk about lots of examples in Forex and stocks and of course, crypto, how you can see it. And we see it with volume. Now imagine price, like the price of anything, price of a stock, price of crypto, like a big giant aircraft carrier. If you've ever stood on the tarmac of an aircraft carrier, it's daunting. 110,000 tons. I mean, it takes a lot of power. It takes 2 nuclear reactors and 4 giant screws the size of your house to drive this thing. And once you get it up to speed, it takes all that power to get it up to speed, it's going to want to stay there. And even when you turn the wheel, it's going to take 3 miles for that thing to turn. It takes a lot of effort. And price is the same way. The bigger the stock, the more the power it needs. Mm-hmm. It's a move, that price or the cryptocurrency. And that power is volume, and that's people trading in and out. Doesn't matter if they're selling or buying, doesn't matter. So if there's lots of volume and there's lots of price motion, that's good, that's normal. That's not whales, that's just how it should work. And if there's a little bit of volume and price kind of doesn't do much, or price goes up and down and kind of comes back the same on a candle or in a time period, that's also kind of normal. But if we see big volume and price goes like this and comes back the same, that's when we start going, the whales are under the water, the whales are doing something, because that's not retail trading. That's them selling on the backs of people that either bought too late or sold too early, and then them chomping the fish, right? Mm-hmm. And when we see that, we're like, we better be careful. We better start seeing, are we in an accumulation phase? Are we at the bottom of something where they've been buying and about ready to shoot the market up? Or are we at the top and is it going to start coming down? The same thing happens if price moves up really far or down really far on a little volume. That means they're testing the market to see, will FOMO happen or will panic sell happen?
Yep.
And that's another time where you're like, ooh, let's see, let's wait and see. Because if FOMO happens, the market shoots up and there's a little volume, everybody goes, oh, we got to get in. That's a good time to get in, because at that point, the whales are all in. Mm-hmm. They're 100% in, and it's a good time for you to get in. And watch it just rise on up. Same thing if it starts dropping really far, but there's just not a lot of volume. They're sacrificing some of their investment to do marketing, like a loss leader, just to see if people will go, oh no, I better get out, and then have that panic sell. Mm-hmm. And that'll be if they're trying to test the market for that, that's a good time to start thinking about exiting, in my personal opinion. And it doesn't matter if it's crypto or whatever. So that's the general gist.
Yeah. And in regards to with the whales, and if you're looking at it on a chart, how can someone see on a chart, say, you know what, let me just, this is what it looks like a little bit.
Yeah. Can I share my screen?
Yeah, sure.
Let me see. I need you to allow
Hold on,
the screen sharing function.
let me add you on here. Let's see here. All right, here we go.
Beautiful. So I'm just going to share with you my chart, and DCG members get these charts. This is Litecoin right now. And, you know, Litecoin is nowhere near its all-time high, but it's definitely doing some nice rises, which we like. This is the alligator, which we talk about in DCG all the time. And these little green and red looking things are price for every 15 minutes. In fact, let's just look at it on the 4-hour. So every one of these little green and red things is 4 hours. Green means price went up, red means price went down in that particular time frame. Down here, the red and the green are how many shares exchanged hands, or coins, I should say. So this big green count will mean a lot of people traded hands with coins, and this low one down here, even though it's red, means not anywhere near as many people did. So if we scroll back here a ways, because there's been a lot of whale stuff going on here. When we see something that's sort of like this, where it's sort of a medium, I mean, price isn't kind of doing much, it's kind of going along sideways, and there's just not a lot of volume, that's kind of just retail traders going in and out, nothing big happening, no big deal. Even this move here, where price jumped up really far, but nobody was there, that could be retail trading. But what happened here is we see price move up, and then move up again, and that's some volume, but this one's nothing.
Yeah, low volume on that one.
Low volume, and that's a test to see, is it time to, is everybody ready to jump on board? And the answer was no, because a bunch of sellers came in and took a little bit of profit, and it came back down. So the whales are like, all right, well, maybe not yet. And they keep going, they drop it a little bit. Oh, let's see here. Let me just auto zoom here. Now, when we see this drop, notice this big fall down. Everybody gets scared, but there's no volume. Again, they're testing the market. Well, maybe we should drop it further. Nope, because they come all the way down here and buy it right back up. So now they're like, you know, we might be ready to run the market up. And you see this bunch of volume that's right here and no price movement. We're seeing whale manipulation. We're seeing that. It kind of goes up and it comes back down. They're trying to figure it out. We keep going. Price is starting to rise, but not until right here do we see volume come back in. And then everybody gets excited. It starts creeping up, medium volume. Then we see volume start rising. Manipulation, that one's normal, but this first candle, we're like, retail traders are starting to FOMO. Now we're starting to get excited as a whale because they've already bought their shares over here when it was cheap. That's why there's all of this motion or this volume down here. They went down, bought all their shares, and brought the price right back up. They sold it at the bottom. I mean, they sold it here, bought a bunch of coins at the bottom, but shot the price back up again. And they did it every 4 hours for looks like 4 candles in a row. That's a lot of money changing hands at a very, very low price. Then it comes over to here, and they test it out, and everybody's ready to FOMO. Everybody jumps in. Huge volume bar, huge price motion. And then we see them come up, and they're like, cool, let's try this now. Everybody gets in right around here as well. And then they drop the market and sell a bunch of them. Sell a bunch of them. There's like, oh no. And all the people that bought in up here thinking it was going to go up another candle, now they're down, right? Down pretty good. Scares them. But ultimately what's going to happen is they want price to come up. They want this thing to start rising because they bought all their coins. This is just all small manipulation stuff. And if you're watching the DCG Mastermind Report, you know cyclically every year the same thing happens time and time again, whether there's whales present or not. These are just confirmations that they're about to do something intense. So we're back to kind of this sideways motion, not a lot of volume, retail traders, you know, some up and downs, but nothing really to speak of. And then really soon we're going to see this same thing happen. Up, down, big volume, up, down, big volume, and a giant candle up on more big volume. Then we see this, that's not a hammer, that's a, what's it called?
Triangle?
Yeah, that one. The one where it comes back down and gets bought again. We see it pull back, and then now we're to the races. Now we're going to see, everybody getting
Volume. Yep.
excited. We're seeing volume come in. We're seeing price starting to head higher. It corrects down to its 30% of the move, which is pretty normal. And then we're going to see it come back up again, and all the way to where we are today. Again, it's another 30% pullback, another massive, move up yesterday to where we are today. And now they're going to see it. We're seeing them selling here. We're hoping it goes to 200 tonight because I'll be exiting tomorrow because it's
Yeah.
Wacky Wednesday. And I'm mostly out. I'm just in a little Litecoin here just to see if it's going to go to 200. But they're selling. There's people selling. There's people buying right up here. And if we look at the 1 hour, see how we're doing here on the 1 hour.
You might
Big
have a sell off
candle.
at 200.
What's that?
You might have a sell off at 200.
Well, yeah, my sell is at 198.
There you go. That's how you
Yeah,
do it.
yeah. I don't want to get anywhere near actual
Nope.
200. I'll never get
Hmm.
filled. So it came all the way up here to about 194, and then people started selling. But let's see, this is the 1 hour. We're at 10 minutes to the hour. There's not a lot of volume here to support this big pull. This is a big pullback. So I'm expecting more big volume to go
Volume.
north, and I'm going to get out just before 200. And
Hmm.
we can look at this and go, volume is how we know what the whales are doing.
There you go. Now, Mark, that's just a tidbit.
Yeah.
I know you go more into more detail in your book.
Yep.
Let them know where they can find you, where they can find your book, where they can find you. So and how you do these different these classes, throughout the week
Hmm.
with DCG live classes where you coming in, you can talk to Mark and say, hey Mark, what about this? What about that?
Yep. If you're not a DCG member, I have a class every Tuesday night. It's about to happen in 10 minutes, but
Hmm.
8 o'clock Pacific. It's a Zoom call. You can go to the Start Trading group in Facebook, and the links are all there for my Zoom. And we get a bunch of people on, and usually we talk about options, but like tonight we're going to talk about what's happening in the markets, historical cycles. We're going to talk about the mastermind board, that kind of stuff. And that's free. If you're a DCG member, I've got calls that we talk about on Thursday nights where we go over the mastermind report for the week and a bunch of other stuff that I do. We also talk about how to do incorporation. So like if you want to incorporate, create an LLC or a C Corp for yourself to get your taxes down, asset protection, anonymity, all that good stuff, we do that. And the book you can get at 5yearplancoach.com, like the number 5yearplancoach.com. And then there's a shop, and you'll see you can get the physical book or you can get the ebook. Either way, we talk about some of the basic trading stuff that we do, how to trade crypto and options, how we do it in DCG using the alligator, and using sentiment and volume, and then everything you need to know about the whales and how to not get eaten by them, but swim with them.
There you go. There you go. And guys, check out Mark's book. Go join the Start Trading group, Facebook
Hmm.
group. It's totally free. Get access to this man right here so you'll be able to understand how the whales are moving, how they're manipulating the market. And then you go out and then join the DCG fam. And then what you're gonna do, you'll get more in-depth information. And you have access to talk to this man every day, man, in the WhatsApp. So
Yep.
I mean, he's great with options. He put on the clinic. He puts on the clinic. He's one of the guys I'm learning options with as well. I'm just picking, just seeing how he's talking, how he's chatting, and I'm just learning, a lot of things. So, I'm just trying to incorporate everything, So this Mark, it's always a pleasure, man. Always a pleasure to sit back and listen to you and learn from you, man.
My
And
pleasure.
anything else? Anything else you guys say in closing?
Well, I'm going to tell everybody on your show that if you all want to have access, excuse me, access, I'm getting all choked up about it, access to Crypto Black, that's also on the DCG group. And, you get access to him and all his understanding about crypto. He's not called Crypto Black for nothing. He calls out calls all the time that are right, that have made me money, made a lot of people money, not to mention himself money. So you've got a great resource there. Join us. Please join us in the DCG group. Or at the very least, get that mastermind report. You can retire on any one mastermind report. Just looking at the seasonality of what's going on. It happens year upon year upon year. And if you could know what crypto was going to do every week for a year, I mean, it's there day by day for the
Yeah.
last
Yep.
10 years, what it's done. And it's like a playbook. And you just open it up and go, what's it going to do today? I got a 50-50 chance of it going up. I'll probably stay out today. Or maybe I'll day trade. Oh, today I got a 100% chance of it going up. I'm going to get in. And then seasons with soybeans and commodities and
Oil and
indexes,
gold. Yeah.
oil, gold. And you're just like, wait, what? You
Yeah.
mean to tell me that silver is depressed in the early part of December and then goes up to the middle of February every year? What? And what's hilarious, we got in December, and I don't know if you did too. We got in, and then WSB got a hold of silver last week, pumped it up to 27, and we got in at like whatever it was, 21 or 20, and we were like, thank you, and then just took profit. Yeah, is it going to keep going up? Probably, but we took profit.
Got in low. We got in so low that at that point it was like this is a given.
Yeah, why wouldn't we? Let's go. So you guys have great access to Crypto Black here, and you come join the DCG group, and you're gonna have access to. I mean, it's not just he and I. I mean, there's like dozens of people that do. I mean, there's a dude that makes $100,000 a month,
Yeah.
and it's not like, oh, some guy knows this guy that knows this.
No.
No, you just can go, hey man, how do you do that? And he's
Yeah.
like, oh, I do it like this.
Yep. And he showed you before he showed you when he do it.
Yeah,
So,
he shows you his entry, and then he shows you his exit, and you're like, dude, damn, that guy made $6,000 today in that one trade. Yeah, and he's doing 10 trades.
Yeah. And then he shows you it, and then you had the option to go in and do it, and then he pulls out, and you had the option to say, okay, let me pull out. So, it's not like, oh yeah, I did this and that, and God, look what I made, and then you're like, oh, I wish I would have knew about it. It's, hey, God, look what I just bought, and you jump right in, do it, and just follow. It's just it's a plethora of information amongst so many people.
In fact, people get slapped for saying, "Oh, I made all this money on this play." Like, you didn't tell us?
Yeah, exactly.
Why didn't you tell us about it?
Yep.
You in this group, you're sharing, or you're not in the group.
Exactly.
So that's
great.
The
last thing you want to do. The last thing you want to do is go make some money, and then tell us, "Oh, you made money."
Why are you here? We're here to help each other. Let's do that.
Exactly. Well, Mark, man, it's great, man. I know you gotta get to your class, so it was great bringing you on, man. And let's try to do it again, man. It's so many different things, so we definitely gotta get you on again, man. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thank you.
All right, man. Enjoy your night.
Thank you. You too.